A pleasure to meet all at last, and welcome back to Honest J Nowak. So for now, what I got here, 1995. I tell ya, another 5 more of these, and we're at 2000. Quite a milestone if you ask me. But here's the thing though. In this particular case, what we got here is Encounters for number 1995. And I suppose the only way for me to truly explain anything at all about it is to, well, just talk about it. So I'll just get started by addressing the fact and what it is exactly is. Encounters are events that happen in life where you accidentally bump into a certain dangerous creature. Like a bear or a lion or wolf pack, or probably even a cassowary. Encounters are typically addressed to this exact type of anomaly in life. Some people, whether accidentally or intentionally, coming across a certain creature that might have the prowess and skill that's incredible enough to tear you limb from limb, killing you instantly. It's basically a series that never stops giving. Not just with the fact that nature has shown quite a bit of power in its own way, but it's just the fact that the animal kingdom is highly diverse, and millions of species are currently known to exist worldwide at this very moment. Some being endangered, some being somewhat common in a way. And then you got many others here and there. Some might not be as broad or as common as we might know, like lions, cheetahs, elephants, eagles, or even our well-known dogs, cats, and birds. But the thing is, though, the encounters that have been documented for many years regarding certain animals like grizzly bears or lions, or even the somewhat elusive serval. Yeah, another feline out there. But it's especially important to know the many things that could happen to you. You could end up injured or dead. You could probably end up as the next meal for these animals. You could probably live in fear for the rest of your life. Traumatized, PTSD-esque, whatnot. There's quite a lot of possibilities that could show up whenever a certain encounter happens. And I could sure tell you from my own perspective, my own encounters with a good handful of animals. The emperor scorpion, for example. Or even the almighty reticulated python. That thing is gigantic. It definitely makes the likes of the anaconda, the Burmese python, or the king cobra unbelievably smaller. It really dwarfs any of the latter. But the thing is, there's really been a good history of my own accord where I have in fact been known to see certain animals. Whether I visit a certain exhibit or society that involves zoology, by any means, the study of certain animals, whether common, rare, or even legendary levels like albino gators, for example, I could sure tell you from my own perspective, there's quite a lot for me to talk about. You could check out my Instagram page, for example, on a lot of videos that I shot over at the Smithsonian Zoology Complex in Washington, D.C. Especially with that really funny video about the sea among apes. Oh my gosh. That was so funny. But the thing is, whether or not you might accidentally or intentionally find a certain animal in life, like when you're out in the woods and then all of a sudden something comes up in front of you. Oh man. I've even talked about that one bit in 2008 where a giant scar happened on my left thigh from a clawing incident. Oh boy. That was something to remember. After 15 years, I've hardly remained unchanged from any of it. It was indeed quite an injury I sustained. My first ever true scar that happened on my body. And since then, with plenty of others that have shown up, I'm very plausible that someday something else might happen. And there could be a giant scar that appears all over the face, and something else could happen even. Who really knows? But I tell you, talking about this stuff for 5 whole minutes, it just really allows me to put up an elaborate scheme here. Quite a session, if you ask me. But, you know what? It's time for me to call it again. If you want to see more, go down to my channel to make sure that you like, subscribe, comment, follow me on social media, and stay on the Hollywood side.